Our production facility in Dandenong here is running 2 linear production lines, very similar to an automotive production line. We're currently just running 1 shift, and we're building about a 2-bedroom apartment each day. It's designed so that as we expand, we can bring material into the centre of the line and feed out into 2 lines. So another prefabricated building, we're looking for something that was going to be pretty straightforward to manufacture, but this one was far from that. This is a building we did in South Yarra. Thanks, Adam, for the introduction, the opportunity to speak today. So today I'm going to do a brief introduction to TBS, and then I'm going to run through 4 types of projects that we've worked on over the last 3 years, and just go through some manufacturing challenges in each of those projects, and what we've learned and where we are today. And at the end, I'll wrap up with some of the key challenges in fabrication from our point of view. So TBS was established in 2014, so we've been running for 6 years. We design, engineer, manufacture and install buildings. So it's important to note we're not builders. We are a manufacturing business, and that's what we focus on, lean manufacturing of buildings. Our wall system's customizable. It's obviously a timber wall system. It's customizable. We build it up to whatever our customers' needs are in terms of internal structure, cladding, and we're capable of up to 7 stories. So we'll talk about the 5-story building we do in New Zealand at the end, but the system is capable up to 7 stories, and we believe we can push it beyond that with some more work. Our production facility in Dandenong here is running 2 linear production lines, very similar to an automotive production line. We're currently just running 1 shift, and we're building about a 2-bedroom apartment each day. We'll talk about integrated supply chain through the presentation. It's very important to manufacturing, and we've come a long way in the last 3 years to integrate our suppliers into a manufacturing business. Manufacturing buildings in Victoria, so all of our buildings are manufactured here, and we're shipping across Australia, mainly into New South Wales, and all of our projects over the last few months have been into New Zealand. So we're exporting. We've been exporting for 12 months now or more. So our system is a fully integrated structural timber wall and floor system. This is the wall build-up. We use a structural timber internal lining. We frame up to whatever the customer's requirements are, insulation, building wrap, battens and cladding to whatever our customer's needs are. And we have a post-tensioning steel columns throughout the walls as required. So we increase or reduce the number of those columns depending on the style of the building, the overriding loads of the building, and what's needed. Exterior cladding, you'll see through the projects, we've used the various numbers of different exterior claddings with different levels of success, but we're happy to give any particular type of cladding a go except for brickwork, obviously. TBS's approach to quality is aligned with the Toyota Way, which is centered around four key philosophies. Long-term philosophy. So this presentation sort of goes through the various learnings in different projects, and that's aligned with our long-term philosophy of quality. So improving on every project over a long term. The right process will produce the right results. So we're focused on the processes on our production line, the right processes to achieve the quality and the speed that we need to on the production line, because at the end that gives you the right results. We obviously value our people, and we add value by developing the people through the business, and continuously solve root problems drives organisational learning. So we're always looking to solve problems and embed the solutions of those problems back into the business systems. So our production line is, as I mentioned earlier, 2 linear production lines, a wall panel line down this side here and a flooring line in the middle. It's designed so that as we expand, we can bring material into the center of the line and feed out into 2 lines. So a linear production flow of material, and making sure that we minimize the unnecessary motion of material through the plant. So material coming in will come into the center aisle here and then feed off the lines, add value onto racks, onto trucks and out. So from a lean point of view, we're minimizing that the motion waste of material through the plant. So this plant's developed a lot in the last 3 years from that first building that we're going through now. With the initial building, we only had sort of this part of the line running to build that building. So this is the finished product inside. Big spans, none of these internal walls are structural. All of the structure spans the full 8.8 metres. So then we were looking to move on to another prefabricated building. We were looking for something that was going to be pretty straightforward to manufacture, but this one was far from that. This is a building we did in South Yarra. We added 2 luxury apartments over the top of a shopping arcade. And you can see down here, this is the shopping arcade. We took the roof off, which I'll go through in a sec, and added 2 apartments over the top of it. In this job, we also did planter boxes. The original design had separate concrete planter boxes on the roof of a timber building. So we did some excellent work to integrate these planter boxes into the structure of the building to be able to take the load of the soil and the plants down through the structure of the building. We did the deckings as modules. We did a unique cladding. So this is a anodized black aluminium cladding. We did all of the structural steel in the building. And you can see here all the different panels that we had. So a lot of the things we learned leading into doing this project is from a fire point of view, all of our walls had to be 60-minute walls inside and out. So we went through a range of fire testing at Warrington Fire to achieve the 60-60-60 FRL. And we've continued to do that throughout all of the future projects that we've worked on. So now I think we have 4 different cladding types certified, about 3 different wall types. All of the joins between our panels are tested, and that's a joint, the top one on the right, that's a joint test, to ensure that that the system is fully compliant for fire. In fact, the latest wall panel we're doing at the moment has gotten 90 minutes from the outside. Weather tightness is a big thing in New Zealand. Leaky house syndrome and compliance to E2 present a lot of challenges to us on a panelised system. And with some great work done with the Christopher and Melbourne Uni, we verified the seal system that we were using, and we've run full wall and window testing to E2 VM1. And going on from that first project, we've actually built our own water test facility so that we can continue that work as we develop the process. We can see here some modelling we did to verify the gap between panels, and to make sure that within the tolerances that we can manufacture it to, the seal will still work. We've also spent a bit of time modelling some of the building physics and moisture in the walls, and making sure that once installed, the walls are going to dry out and we're not going to end up with mould issues or condensation on the steel columns and so forth. Acoustics, we've done a lot of work on acoustics before entering the New Zealand market, but the test and the way they test in New Zealand is slightly different to Australia. So we set up a new acoustics test example in our factory, and we redid all the acoustic works to make sure that we were compliant with the New Zealand code. And then on this particular first building, we verified the acoustics at every stage of the design to ensure that we were getting the level of soundproofing that we had planned. One of the important learnings out of this is this is talked about a lot. It's talked about a lot in the automotive industry, but it's also talked a lot about in this industry now, is making sure that we make early design decisions. So through all of the engineering development of that building, we were still making a lot of decisions, right up to production, which didn't really give our supply chain enough time to react, and it was a very slow manufacturer. We didn't hit the manufacturing rates that we wanted to hit. We stressed the team out quite a lot heading into the start of this project, trying to get ready to start manufacture. So we've worked pretty hard on our processes now to try to pull all of the coordination of the building early on in the piece, so that it's all done before we enter into our shop drawing process. So we shouldn't really be making any decisions post entering shop drawing. So we have a list of a range of milestones that we run through the project, which is very, very similar to how we've developed cars and progress the design of a car.